Hey guys, what's up? This is Enki Gamer, and today I'll be showing you the basics on making a thumbnail in Photoshop. Let's get started. So if you've never used Photoshop before and you really want to kind of learn how to create thumbnails for like your own videos and stuff, then this tutorial will show you everything you need to know on making a thumbnail. So first what you want to do is add in all the pictures and stuff that you're going to be adding into your thumbnail. So I already picked out a few images. And to import your images into Photoshop, you're going to go to the top left, go to File, go to Open, and then you're going to get your photos. So I have this nice Photoshop logo. And also the thumbnail I will be creating is going to be the thumbnail for this actual video. So if you want to get a reference on what I'm making, then you could look at the actual video's thumbnail. So after we've added our images, you're gonna want like a white background. Just get a reference of how big the thumbnail should be, because sometimes like if you use like an image like this might be too small, and it also is pretty narrow, and when you import this into YouTube it will have black bars around it and just doesn't look that nice. So to get something like this, you're gonna want to go to File, New, and I already have some custom presets of what I want the size of my thumbnail to be. So I already have this one, which is you could copy all these settings. After doing that, you create, and it should pop up here. So first you're gonna want to get your main background, and in order to drag this over to our main reference, you're going to want to go to the top left, and this is the move tool. So you're gonna click on that, make sure you have that selected, and you're gonna drag this over to where the reference of this white background is. After doing so, you're gonna take this, and because you could obviously see this is way too small to actually like fit as a YouTube thumbnail, you're gonna want to resize it. So make sure it's selected. You want to go to Edit, Free Transform, and just drag it so then it hits the borders. And my background's not that good just because, you know, like it's pretty narrow and stuff. So what I'm going to do, I'm just gonna kind of mess around and do something like this. So now I will have to have it zoom in a little bit, but it will look something like this. After that, you're gonna want to press the check mark or double click the image. Now I'm gonna add my Photoshop logo. Okay guys, sorry about that. Apparently my Photoshop image wasn't working, so I just got a different one from Google. And here's an example of what happens if there's like a white background and you want to get rid of it, like so it doesn't look like something like this when you're putting inside the actual like thing. Like this looks horrible. You don't want this. You want to get rid of that white background. In order to get rid of that white background, you're going to go to this eraser tool and make sure it's selected to magic eraser. After that, you're going to click on the white background, and it should all disappear. If it doesn't, there could be like some shadows and stuff, so you're gonna want to zoom in with the zoom tool on the left, and you're gonna want to use the eraser tool just to, you know, get rid of that, and that should be good. So if I zoom back out, yep, all the white should be gone, and you could see that there's a little bit of white here. I could just get rid of that quickly. Okay, now it should look fine. After that, you're just gonna resize your image. So I'm just gonna do the free transform thing again. I'm gonna put it like somewhere where like it fits, make it a little bit bigger, you know. Try to make it fit in as best you can. So I'm just gonna put it, you know, on the left, and now we have our background, the logo that's like kind of relating to what this, you know, video is on. And now we want to add some text. Text is going to be very important, and depending on what type of font you're using and size, it really will lure the people over to like your video if the thumbnail looks good. Right now the font I'm using is Oblex Pro. You could probably find this on like a free website or whatever. So right here I could rename it like, create thumbnails in Photoshop. I have to resize this. This looks terrible. Yeah, so if you want to change the color of like your text, you can go to the top where it shows like whatever color it is, and I'm gonna make it like a nice like kind of like light blue. Like we could like kind of mess around with it. That looks nice. That looks nice. And we could move this over, and I might want to like mess around with this. So like I might want to move this Photoshop logo here, and I might want to do like create like thumbnails, and we also might want to resize this. So you're gonna go to edit again, free transform, you know, just the basic stuff. So we're gonna like do like create thumbnails in Photoshop. Also keep in mind, yeah, that I'm using the text tool right here on the left. So yeah, I'm gonna just move this. We might have to make the or a little bit smaller. And like, you know, that looks good. It's like pretty basic, but you know, does the job. I might want to like make this bigger, have it fit with every other text and all that stuff. So create thumbnails in Photoshop. So now that we have like our main like rough draft of what we want our thumbnail to look like, we're gonna add, you know, some effects. So first let's start with our Photoshop image. You're gonna right click the layer. So on the bottom right, you're gonna right click the layer, go up to blending options, and then there should be a lot of different things right here. So these are all like the different styles you can add to your image or object, whatever it is. So what I like to do, I like to add a drop shadow, which kind of gives it so like it's popping out at you. And you could copy all these settings if you want. Sometimes I'll like modify them depending on like where it is and all that stuff. So like that looks good so far. You can kind of see that it's, yeah, look, it's kind of popping out at you. Sometimes I have like an outer glow to make it kind of like pop out even more. So I might want to do like make the glow like a little blue, you know, and then make the opacity like pretty big, and it's kind of like, whoa, it's like special, you know. So yeah, that looks pretty good. Now after doing that, text, we want to like do something like, oh my gosh, I just realized B. There we go. So yeah, let's change our text now. Want to go like, you know, blending options. I'm gonna add a drop shadow once again. Maybe add like a stroke. Strokes are basically like the outline of the actual text. So like, want to do that. Maybe make the color like white. No, that kind of looks bad. That looks really bad. What's a good? No, that's bad too. No. Oh no. You know, we're not gonna do a stroke, but strokes are there if you want to use them. We might want to use gradient overlay. Gradient overlays are very useful. So yeah, you can make it look like nice and like you could just blend it in. You could change the color, you know, do something like that. You know, you have to experiment with a lot of this stuff, and I think that looks really nice. This is how you can get a lot of views, because people will click on your thumbnails thinking like, wow, this actually looks pretty good. You know, this is probably like a really good video, even though it's not really. Also, sometimes if the background's kind of distracting and you want to make your text and images pop out more, then you're gonna want to select the background, go to the top where it says filter, then you could go to blur, and then usually lens blur works the best. You're gonna want to do that, and it kind of makes the background like it's like the background a little blurry, so it's kind of like the text is what you're trying to focus on, and that will usually grab people's attention. And yeah, that's pretty much all the main things I use for my thumbnails. So yeah, obviously you want to use the move tool. Also definitely the eraser, depending on what types of images you're getting. So like a lot of images, you know, have that white background, you could easily get rid of that. Also, you know, there's like the text, obviously add the text, and then there's a zoom feature. So like if you kind of want to like refine some stuff, this is kind of too big. But yeah, so if you want to refine some stuff, like, oh, this is nice, like, so I could kind of zoom in, like check if everything like looks correctly, and then if I want to zoom out, I re-click on the magnifying glass and fit to screen when that shows. Also, in some cases, if you want to add like a face or get like someone's face out of a place or something, you can easily let's show an example. Let me show you an example. Let me just get like a picture of like myself. So you know, we got my picture, and I have a green screen, so it makes the job a lot easier for me. But if you don't have a green screen, it might be harder taking out the background. But if you have a green screen and like you're taking a picture of yourself, you could easily use the magic eraser tool, press on the green, and then most of it will go away. Some of it won't, which is like, that just happens, but oops. And you're also gonna want to like undo a lot. But yeah, so like this is kind of like the rough draft of it, and if you want to kind of refine a lot, you like look at this horrible green edge. If you want to get rid of that, go into the right click the eraser tool, and you're gonna do the normal eraser tool, not the magic eraser. And then you can kind of like go around like the face and stuff, get rid of all that yucky green. We don't want that green. Yeah, so then once I zoom out again, it looks much better. Also, especially with hair is very important to get rid of that green. So like usually I'll like take most of my hair out. Yeah, we do that, you know, like we just do a lot of that different stuff. Like now we have like our main thing. We could then like take this, add this to here. Oh yeah, that doesn't really fit that well, does it? No, let's just get rid of this. We don't need this. It's unnecessary. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Showed you the basics on how to use Photoshop and create thumbnails like this. If you want more Photoshop tutorials like this, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace out.